and faculty members. Our heartiest welcome goes to the JOPA Alumni Association. Congratulations on being a part of growing and dynamic association here. We are honored to have you with us. Burning light gives you strength. Fill your intense dream with the lamp of passions. See your goal in front of eyes. A lamp introduces itself by light. Achievers are introduced by achievements. Now I request all the alumni members come on to the desk for lighting of lamp. Yes, ma'am. President Mr. Greatest Rahul, Ms. Rebecca Christopher, Mr. Mohammad Imran, and Mr. Nilesh, Mr. Amandeep Singh. I request Dr. Martina ma'am to come on to the desk. I request ma'am, Mrs. Vinay Sheila ma'am come on to the desk. Martina ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Now, let's start the event by invoking God's blessings. Now, I request BBS students to come on to the dais for prayer song. I request everyone to stand up for the prayer song. request Bhavani to take over the case.
Hello. Ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Bhavani. Now let us start the program by inviting Alumni President Mr. Greatest onto the dais. Now I would like to request Ms. Madhu to present the book. Thank you, Mr. Cletus. Thank you, Madhu. Now I would like to invite General Secretary of Association, Ms. Rebecca Christopher, onto the dais. I would like to call Divya to present the book. Now I invite Joint Secretary Mr. Mandeep Singh onto the dais. Amardeep Singh, ma'am. Now I would like to call Deepika. Thank you, Mandeep sir. Now I would like to invite Executive Member Mr. Mohammed Imran onto the dais. I would like to call Shebab onto the dais. Now invite Executive Member Mr. Nilesh to come onto the dais. I would like to call Ms. Monica to present the bouquet. Thank you, sir. I invite Vice President Ms. Manisha Raj, Treasurer of Association, Mr. Rakesh, for joining us together. Now I request Ms. Vinaya Sheila ma'am to address the gathering.
Come on to the dais first.
Good morning, one and all. It is a wonderful day that we are all gathered together to interact with our students, and I wish all the executive members all the best for your deliberations today, so that you can give your best to your alma mater. And I congratulate the convener and the entire PG team who are involved in inviting all the team members and trying to plan something for the present student batches, so that we can contribute not only academically but also try to have a platform for their growth in the corporate world. So I wish all the best to one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words. Now I request Dr. Martina ma'am to share the roles and responsibility of the association members.
Good morning, one and all, dear alumni members, my dear faculty members, and everyone who is here right now. Now, I would like to thank the management and the principal, Father Dr. D. Sundar Reddy, who is not available today due to some urgent work. And I would like to thank each and everyone here who has come here, honoring our invitation. Really, thank you so much, and God bless you all. And of course, I'm not here to deliberate the roles and responsibilities here. But after the formation of Alumni Association, I'm supposed to at least inform each and everyone here actually what is going on here. Throughout the year, like last year, in the month of July, we got our Alumni Association registered, legally. So since then, we have been conducting and alumni association members, whether they are physically present or not, but they have been helping so much so that we have come to a stage that today we were we met a day where we opened the bank account, so that's a great achievement, and I'm so thankful to all of the members here, because after COVID, the first time they are coming down. Before that they had come here and all of us know about it. Now, there are actually 3 types of association meets that have been arranged. First one is the association meet, association members having meeting with the principal and the committee members like me and Swapna and all. So that is one kind of meeting. The second meeting is that alumni association members with the faculty members, the second kind of meeting. Third one is the alumni association members with the students. So now this is a protocol related to the second one. Alumni association members having meeting with the faculty members, so that they will also come to know what exactly is their role, each and every member. See, they graciously came forward to give their names, lend their time to become to be a president, vice president, and to be executive member, general secretary, joint secretary. They are readily available for our request at any time. Anytime you call them, put a message, they immediately respond. Only thing is, because of the COVID, we could not face each other. I think in the coming days, we can have number of programs, very specially their juniors who are going to be like them, excelling in their corporate world. So this is our sincere request from our side, and today being the day where we are holding the second kind of meeting, where this is alumni association members with the faculty members, so that when we come together on a common platform, they will come to know what is our expectation from our side, and what is their individual role, like Rebecca and Amandeep, and they are ready with it. In fact, we had one first of its kind of meeting where me, principal, and our alumni association members exclusive meeting we had, and we had put down all the agenda, like for example, I just read out fixation of new vice president, because the old vice president left, and she did a wonderful job, and also new member in the place of Mr. Rahul. Nilesh has joined us, and Manisha also has joined us in the place of another member who wanted to leave the association because of hectic schedule, and third agenda was defining their roles and responsibilities and need for the action plan for the year 21-22. Still it is pending from our side. So now we are in the period of planning for the academic year plan 21-22. So in that we have the guest lectures to be arranged by them, or they themselves will be able to help us. Whether they are willing to be the project examiners, and any collaborations and the competition they want to conduct to be with us, and then orientation help, where normally they will come here and to talk to our juniors, and then orientation. Career developmental training, placement leads and links throughout the year, and social programs, and then alumni database to be sent to the association members, and then alumni portal. So we have a list of points in the agenda. All these are points which we discussed, and one by one we are just taking care of it, and of course it takes a lot of time. I believe that with all of your cooperation, I think it will take faster. It will definitely be accelerated. I believe so, because now we are meeting with we are meeting together face to face. I think it will be fruitful in the coming years to come. So we are here to hand over the session to go further, and is it fine with you? Shall I hand over? These are the plans, what I want to say. So now I will just hand over the session to the alumni association members, so that they will take it forward. Anything that we have to do from our side, and what are your plans and what roles and responsibilities that you would like to take up, because instead of we assigning it, what is your ability within the time, within the ability, because you're all working for good companies and top positions there. Okay, so if they come forward to help us in what way, then we can understand that Imran is ready, Grantus is ready, everyone is ready for something. Now we can tap into that area and we can use their services without disturbing one another. So here I am handing over the session over to the team and the President Gladys. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to continue with that. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, respected faculty. Our principal will be assisting, but I believe he will be joining us online as well. Professors, faculty and everyone here. Also my teammates, I call them teammates. Whenever I message in WhatsApp groups, that is the header I put in, dear teammates and fellow office bearers. Because I see all of us standing hand in hand. Others seeing as designations or positions are just positions, but we all work together when it comes to the Alumni Association. So, and you see, there is one of my batchmates here, Nilesh. Imran Bhai, I call him Bhai always because he is that elder brother to me in this association that we have. I even call Amandeep Bhaiya actually, even while I'm texting him, because that is how I see him. And Rebecca ma'am, everyone calls Rebecca ma'am. But the only opportunity we have is to call Rebecca ma'am by name, Rebecca. That is because we work in the same organization. So Nilesh, Rebecca ma'am, three of us are from Deloitte. And another association member also, that is Rakesh. He's not with us, he is the treasurer, so he is also from Deloitte. And we see, I'll introduce them one by one, but before that, usually as I start off, I like to start off with stories. Martina ma'am knows, everyone knows that I like starting off with stories. So just a short funny story to start off with. So there was this, I think it is screeching.
Switch off that.
I can still hear it. You join or not? So I said we'll start off with a short story, and the story goes like this. So there was this young guy who was on a ship, and he was educated, well educated. So he gets on the ship, he's making this conversation with the sailor who is actually sailing the ship. And he's talking to him, asking him, do you know zoology, do you know botany, do you know biology, do you know geography, and all of this stuff. And the sailor says, no, I don't know all of this stuff. And then he goes on to tell the sailor, what do you know then? How did you become a sailor? And how are we risking our lives with you at the helm of the ship? So that is what he says. And then after some time, they start hitting high waves. And they know that something is wrong. So this guy again goes up to the sailor. And before he can ask any other question, the sailor asks him back, do you know escapology? And do you know how to save your life from sharkology? So, and this person says, no, I don't know any of that. And during that time exactly, he says, I don't know any of this stuff. And the sailor responds saying, okay, then you should probably learn that your lifeology will be eaten by sharkology because of your morphology. So, this short story is always also another way of understanding. Sometimes we think we learn a lot and we think we know a lot, but learning is a continuous process. And before moving on to that, I see right around the room here, there are messages, especially not just for us as the Alumni Association, but also for all of us seated here, inclusive of the faculty and everyone who has joined us online. The first message I see from here is, I see the third line. It says B++. And I think that is what we are moving to get to. I don't like the alphabet B, because if you start off the alphabets, no alphabet starts with B. It starts with A. Everyone remembers A, And you know, that is why that A is used by Apple also, one of the largest corporations in the world. No one uses B as a startup. So I think we are moving towards pushing ourselves towards that A from the B that we are at. And along with that, if we look at this moving towards A, I see the direct message coming again from the left where we have a vision and mission. Until we have that set in place and in our heads for these small steps going forward, the vision and mission is then going to propel us from this B to A. And in order for us to have a good vision and mission, as I was sitting there, right opposite to me, I see here the core values that ma'am is sitting now. So I see the core values there. So that core values is going to help us to fix this vision and mission. So I was just looking around to see what I can pick from, and I saw so much already. And when I see here, you might say it is all blank. What do you see here? I think the blank here refers to all our efforts, which is going to fill up this whiteboard here. And the green board there. So I think all these three actually put together first is going to get us to that fourth one, moving from the B to A. So I think that is what part of being in the alumni association is what we are planning for and what we are planning to do so that we keep moving forward. Not just at a small level, just for the students or speaking to the students, which is just one part. Or let's say 5% of what the plans are. But as a whole, the larger plan would be to get that. We want to see that logo and an A there. And if possible, also the pluses there next to that. I don't know how many pluses they give actually after the A, but as many as we can, if possible. And shifting that alphabet B to A will be our concentration. So as we move forward, I will introduce you all to one of the people I am going to ask to speak next. Yesterday I made it a little fun also in the WhatsApp groups. So there were certain topics we picked out, but even they don't know which topics who has picked. But that is how it was. And I think I left a note at the message, at the end of the message, say, yes, serious discussions can also be made fun. That is what I said when I put it in the group. So that is what I am going to do. And I am going to hand it over first to Imran Bhai here. He's like an elder brother to me. He's had vast experience. And if I have to introduce him straight, it is like, I like to say he's the tech guy, you know. The smartest brains of us all. So he'll say no, he'll smile. He just entered family life recently. We were there at his wedding too. And I didn't get the opportunity to actually meet his partner too. Others had told her the same thing. And I think he gets that on as well. That he's one of the smartest guys we speak to. Every time you think of something, you think of, even if there is a smart person thinking of level 5, he'll be already thinking at level 10. So that is where he is at. And he is always part of technology and comes up with various ideas. I remember last year when we came, we had a lot of people talking about coming up with questions on technology. And I think we were pushing all our questions to him because we know he'll take all of that. So, Imran, I'd like to invite you to talk about industry inputs and how are we going to incorporate them into how are we trying to help incorporate those into the curriculum.
Rahul, thank you for the introduction. You really need a mic?
Yeah.
So to be honest, I have lot of ideas for the alumni association. So to start with, I have made a list which I couldn't learn in college. Things what I couldn't learn. Things what are taught me top B schools where I have been to IITs and IIMs where I have personally invested after during my work process and stuff. So So the one major thing what I saw was engagement. Engaging with anyone. This is what we have never focused on. Engaging the executive to the C-level executives. And this is what I want to initially do. I want to bring all the CEOs, CTOs or vice presidents of likes of Wipros, HCLs and big top companies, top 10 top companies of the country to our organization. Second thing, what the plans what I have is I want to contribute to the curriculum. So last year I did it for I think BBA IT. So this year also I want to contribute, bring more industry knowledge, industry experts. I want them industry experts to help our faculty create agile curriculum. From a IT or management point of view. The third thing I want to teach them is presentability. I want my students or students from St. Joseph to get top. Touch wood, whenever till date, I have given an interview, I have never failed. I have always received them offer letters. So I want my students to be at top. Let it be and I want my students to compete with likes of ISPs. So this is what I have for this year. So this is what I focus at, and probably I see in next 3 years we achieving all this. So this year I have submitted the list of 10 companies from where I would be bringing CIOs. So if time permits, we'll bring in more CTOs and CIOs. And apart from that, any kind of mentorship, any kind of startups or entrepreneurs, our students are aiming at. So we'll always be there, from a mentoring point of view or investment point of view, or everything they are looking for any kind of specific research. We are always there. Let it be science, let it be technology, anywhere. So we'll try to help them from industry.
Ask them to come to the lab in UG Bhopal. Yes.
Thank you. So you see, that is what I was telling you. While you are already thinking of one thing, is already thinking of 10 things. We are thinking of the current year and is thinking of the next 3 years already. So that is where it runs. So, and that is the speed at which he starts processing information. So, thank you, Imran bhai, for your ideas. We always talk now and then. So we keep coming up with ideas, and always I feel like I'm a baby when it comes to ideas, and his ideas are like adding on everything. He's like, we can do this, correct. He'll never tell you that your ideas won't work. He'll tell you, okay, in addition to your ideas, I think it will be better if we add these things also. So that is the kind of guy he is. And always soft spoken also. And you can see, he'll be probably smiling now too. Because I know he'll be smiling, I don't have to look at him. So that is the kind of personality he is. Thank you, Imran bhai, for being part of and taking up this additional responsibility too. And next I'd like to invite Rebecca also to come and share her thoughts also. Actually, we wanted to do a little bit of interactive session only using the whiteboard and greenboard also, if students were involved. But due to paucity of time, and also I have an upcoming meet with His Grace Most Reverend the Archbishop. So at 1:30 he has to be there. There's a sports meet going on at the Diocese in Heaven. We have to be there. So I'm inviting Rebecca Mahim to also share her thoughts, and she will introduce to you also the topic she is about to share, and also acknowledging Anita ma'am's entry into the room. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Anita ma'am, I'm really happy to see you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, dear lecturers, all the students, Father Principal, we miss you here. A brief introduction about myself. I'm Rebecca Christopher, and I've passed out from MBA batch 2011. It's been almost 10 years that I studied in this college, and it still feels that it's fresh in my heart that I'm still part of this college through JOPA. Thank you, Martina ma'am, and the college also for giving me this opportunity to be associated. a little bit introduction about my personal life. I stay in Hyderabad with my husband and 2 daughters. I work for Deloitte and it's been 11 years. This is my 11th year with Deloitte, and my current role in the firm is recruiting, and I'm part of the sourcing and the recruiting strategy team in Deloitte. From my perspective, what I feel my strengths that I can contribute to the college are that, while my core is HR, I can take up sessions for MBA students with respect to HR. Any pointer subjects from the industry side, I can do that for sure. Since recruiting is my core, and most of the students will be looking forward for placements and private companies and prospective companies, I can always look out to coach and train our students as to how to be prepared for interviews. How should your resume be look like? What should your conduct be, or how should your executive presence be while you are there sitting for that interview with the interviewer? What goes in? Is it only about your skill sets? No. It's about your body language, your gestures, the way you conduct yourself in the area where you're seated. You are in an observation eye by the recruiters, whether they talk to you or not. Even if you're just sitting like that, I would have my observation eye that, okay, if that girl is sitting there, how is she like? What is her approach to be like? How is she prepared? So I'm having that silent interview with this person already. So I think it becomes very important that students should start feeling very serious about their placements right from the day one of their start in the college. So it's not only about just 2 months prior and now we're going to have placements and now we need to start preparing our resume. No, but their training or their preparation for the interviews or to face those difficult conversations, maybe, which might come up with the interviewers, will have to start from day one. So I would love to take up those pre-placement trainings for our students. Because somewhere I felt that today if I'm in Deloitte, it's because of my seniors, my lecturers and faculty members in St. Joseph's who have invested in me and that I have joined Deloitte through campus. So I strongly feel that you definitely need that direction, that guide, or that comforting word just to say that it's going to be good and don't worry, don't panic. Nervousness and panic is the main thing where I feel that students don't fare well. They might have the knowledge and content about to speak in an interview, but the moment they see an interviewer, they just shock. They're in shock. So I strongly feel that that level of comfort will have to be brought in. And how will that come in? That comes in with a lot of confidence that we instill in the students. So I can definitely train them, coach them, and whatever are the current strategies or the process of interviews that companies follow, I can try and make the students aware that this is what it is going to be out for you in the market. And there are various strategies, there are various methods that interview has got into. And the best part is during the COVID time, we have leveraged our boundaries. That is, we never thought that recruiting would be virtual. But right now, if I have to share my experience, we nearly interview 400 candidates on Zoom. Now, and that is in one day. So that is the kind of potential we have, understood, and that is the benchmark we have set for ourselves. And somewhere I'm thankful to COVID because it's bringing out the best in us, and it's making us think out of the box. So that out of the box thinking is also something very, very important. So I wanted to focus mainly, my core is interviews, recruiting, and what are the strategies of recruiting and what are the methods. Maybe, yes, in this manner also, wherever there are placements in Deloitte, and God forbid, if any of our students are not placed, and if there is a way that, through lateral side, not through campus, but through the lateral side, if I can take some, students into Deloitte, I think I can do my contribution there as well. I'm part of the sourcing team and currently take care of the chartered accountant hiring in Deloitte. So yes, there is scope for BCom students also who we can definitely take, BCom freshers, because there is a small skill set which we do handle there. So yes, my contributions can be wherever there is an opening or a placement, I just reach out to Martina ma'am or Anita ma'am any of our senior members and can help with that. But yes, I would love to interact with students, and I'm actually prepared to interact with students today. I came prepared with my topic just for a 5-10 minutes quick talk, and maybe in my next week I would have elaborated on it. I was asking practice about a whiteboard also, that I can just start drawing and all. I come from a family of teachers and teachers and principals basically. I don't know how to land in HR, but yes, I really love my profession. That's what I can say. But I interact with a lot of candidates who come in, and they are my crowd whom I can interact with, and I can leverage my presentation skills in front of them. And in fact, if you ask Anita ma'am, we were the ones who always used to raise a hand, ma'am, please allow us for the presentation. And ma'am, other than Rebecca and Sindhu or anybody else who's interested in a presentation, that's how the statement used to go in college. So I strongly feel that if you want to be successful, or if you want to crack something really difficult, start that from day one itself is what I want to convey that to the students. Fight your own fears, and I'm sure have that confidence and wear that smile and just crack it. So yes, I will in which ways strongly I welcome any feedback that is there, or any other suggestions. If there is any scope to complete it in my area, I will definitely do that to the college. Thank you.
You have got placed through campus only, no?
Yes, ma'am, through campus, yes. I just mentioned that, ma'am, I got the right guidance that I needed. I strongly feel that these sessions only would help the students interact with the industry members, and that will build their confidence. That's it. Maybe they might not learn something great out of it, because we are just holding some 10 years of experience, and we're not masters in anything. We are also constantly learning. But the best part is that our students will at least get to interact with someone who is from the industry, so that they gain that confidence of interactions, and that they don't shy away from any conversations that come in. That's what.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
While recruiting, what are the extra skill sets apart from educational qualification they are looking in a student?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so apart from educational qualifications, what is that extra skill?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I've always emphasized this a lot, that communication is something very, very important, because these days, no matter if you're 100% in your economics or physics or mathematics or your core subjects, whatever you are into, if you are not in a situation to communicate that effectively, I think the companies are not willing to take up candidates. So the first thing that I feel that is communication is more important. And these days companies are getting into assessing candidate communication not through through an interview, but it is through tests, aptitude tests and communication related tests. So I'm sure you must have heard about these tests called Versant, Bellet. These are the two types of tests that most companies use, and students mostly feel that it is a very difficult test, and how do we crack it? It's all about the confidence that they have to go about it. So communication is one important aspect, ma'am. And the second is your executive presence and your confidence that you display while you're sitting there for an interview. So it's just not about sitting in a very scared manner. Okay, fine, I'm having a thorough understanding about my skill sets, but it is all about how enthusiastic are you and how focused are you for your interviews, and how committed you are to that particular organization. How much do you know about this organization? What is your study that you have done about it? That is something very, very important, that every student should have that desire. Because the first question that goes to all the freshers when you're sitting in an interview is, what do you know about the life? So I cannot sit there blank that I'm just coming in here and I will learn from you. No, but there is a lot of information on YouTube. So there is this proactive approach that the candidate, or candidate for me, but the student now in Joseph's should have for cracking their interviews. So that is somewhere I feel that's another important thing. So it's also about having the market knowledge as to what is currently going on, and how and what is your network, how many people you're following, and how are you learning from the people is what is very, very important. Not only the textbook knowledge, but it is also about how you're connecting with people, whom are you associated with. It's not about just sticking to your core subject. So all this comes for an interview.
I would like to mention here, last time when she has come for the POS, she suggested the Excel also. It is very important. And we have introduced the subject. Excel subject in MBA.
Thank you,
Because
ma'am.
of that, yeah.
Thank you
Because
so
that
much,
is very
ma'am. You
important.
honored my suggestion. Thank you. Yes, I strongly feel, students these days are studying a lot of, maybe they are studying a lot of technologies that are coming in, the new technologies that are coming in. But you know what the basic thing is to represent your data. Excel is something that you need to know in and out. And tomorrow in my interviews also, when I have to interview somebody, while they do their core job in Excel, in HR, I still do ask them, what is your data representation skills? How are they? Where do you stand on a scale of 1 to 10 when I interview my candidates for my team? So, strongly I feel that, being in advance in Excel is also equally important. And, I think we will have to start something like this for our students by giving them projects, ideas, or giving them the live examples itself. If there is a certain event happening and if there is an expense around it, how would you want to make a graph out of this expense, or how do you want to draw a pie chart for this this expense that has incurred? So giving them that entire concepts like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, or any other Excel advanced related concepts, maybe not masters, but yes, and something related to automation on Excel. So if there is something that you can merge two documents on MS Office and can do something that can save a lot of time, that is what companies are looking out for. Those are the ideas that students should have in order to be successful in their performance at their offices, respective offices. So this is something I strongly felt, yes. Excel is very, very important. Yeah. Microsoft Office, advanced version is also very, very important, because that is what I do in and out while I'm working on my data work. And that is how my success is calculated as to how many candidates interviewed, and if a single number goes wrong and I'm losing my performance there, right? So you should know as to, every student should know basically as to how are they tracking their own data, and that comes with only a lot of practice that goes in. Open to questions, if anybody has any. Or any doubts, the smallest of it also.
Like apart from advanced Excel, like HR analytics, is it playing a role in giving a superior position than the basic entry level position?
So ma'am, of course, yes. Analytics these days is one of the most spoken subjects, and definitely in a demand. And yes, I feel that every student should also have those analytical skills. Basically, analytics is also one of the great skills that a student.
It is like how to improve placements in operations, because we have specialization operations also in our college. We introduced in the year 2014.
Okay.
After we got accounts for MBA. So how to improve placements even in operations? We have finance, HR, marketing, both one. Even operations we are getting, but more of operations, because they will be operations they will take the person who completed BTech with MBA mostly.
Yes.
So how we can relate with BCom also? The person is from BCom or BBA can also get into operations.
Okay, sir. So regarding that, sir, one thing I would say is that it depends on the company who is asking for this particular skill set. But I will do my research on this and get back to you more, on my ideas around it. Maybe right now I'm not having that idea, but yes, I'll come back to you, sir. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing the inputs. And as you all heard, a lot of questions. It's not just total questions. Nowadays, if you see, not just faculty coming up with high-level questions, right? We see even students coming up with high-level questions nowadays. So, which reminds me of this short story again that I came across. I like putting in stories there. So this is also another short story where one child goes to his mom and asks, "Mom, why is it that your hair is turning grey?" They come up with these sorts of questions, and the mother responds. She tries to teach the child the moral of the story kind of lesson there, and she tells, "Every time you do a bad deed, my hair turns grey." So that is what the mom tells the child. And the child pauses for a second and then smiles and tells the mom, okay, now I realize why grandmom's hairs are all grey. So these are the kinds of questions actually students come up with also. It is like we see a lot of questions coming up. One such area is also entrepreneurial development and the skills required to develop entrepreneurial skills. So that is what I am going to let Amandeep also speak to us about and his ideas around it.
Thank you, Girish. Good morning, everybody. So, I am actually not prepared for an entrepreneurial skill, but the point that I have when I started doing my own business that I started in 2013-14. So at that point of time, I was thinking how I should move ahead in my business to grow it more. So the certain skill sets that I have was the marketing that I have done under Manoj with Anita ma'am's guidance and Dhanam ma'am's guidance. So that made me feel how I have to move ahead towards Six Sigma, the signals that we have done, or the other ideas that we have. So in terms of entrepreneur, first we have to think from a smaller point of view because we have to think how we are going to move ahead in the future. We basically, if you see my level that I'm thinking, I'm not thinking for Mukesh Ambani or Anil Ambani that we have to go. First think for ourselves first of all. So how are we going to go ahead? So it could be in any industry segment that you have to start. It could be a smaller business, automobile business or any other business for an example. So what are the interest areas that you build inside first where you are majorly focused upon? So that is the point that I want a student to think when he is moving out of, it could be from BBA or it could be from MBA or it could be from a BBA, BCom background. So if he is willing to study more, he would study, but if he is not, after BCom also he can stop it and perform his own business activities that he has. So I myself has built, you can say, not with much efforts that I have taken from my father, or it is my own effort that I have done. So the hardened thing that is only the effort that I have put, or the honesty that I have in my own business that I grow it. So I want the students also to get more enthusiastic towards what they want first. It could be, see, I work with controllers data centers since 6 years, and all the marketing skills that I had, I am doing it right now. That marketing skills in an entrepreneurship, how you have to develop your business, that would be the point that I want the students to get. So that's it from my end. So anything.
Just want to add one point for entrepreneurship when you consider. We have association. Okay? When alumni is coming from the guest lectures on the day. Also, you have to focus on what are the schemes given by government to start up the business.
Yes.
Okay. Like most of, I think few students are here, but most of our students, or not only our college, any college, they are not aware of the schemes which are provided by the government.
Yes.
That is a problem. We know like how to start up the business, we know how to run the business, marketing, HR skills, finance skills, accounting skills, everything are there. But first thing we need is fund to start the business. So anyone, if they want to start a business, they have to invest their own money, they will think 100 times.
Yeah.
When the government is giving, supporting us, especially for the small, medium and micro industries, okay? So if we can focus on that one, like every bank is providing MSME loans.
Yes.
Okay. But how many of our students are applying for that those loans?
Yes.
If they apply for the loan, at least 5 crore rupees they will get minimum
Yes.
of 5 crores to start up the business. Okay. So we need to
Sir,
focus
but
on
that depends on the idea also, because we need to present that idea to the government so that they can release so much of funds for it.
Yes.
So
There is an
basically,
opportunity.
yeah. So basically, there is one of my colleague who's recently starting his own business. He has actually submitted all the documents and he has only got 20 lakh loan. So his idea was very big, but according to the government needs also, we need to figure it out that business works or not.
Correct. See, one example I will give you, like electric vehicles, which are.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the four-wheeler, but
Yeah,
two-wheeler when you consider. 2008, 2009, they have started.
Yes.
But that was not promoted by the government. But now, if you consider since last 1 year, you are saying every company is going into electric vehicles. Okay, like what are the local companies are there? They are able to sell more products than the branded companies like TVS or Tata or any other. Tata is not into two-wheeler, but TVS into two-wheeler, or Chetak is into two-wheeler, Bajaj Chetak.
Yes.
When you compare with other local companies, their sales are less. Even we got Ola is also announced already. They are releasing soon. Also we have Hero. Those people are unable to sell, but the local companies, how they are able to sell more products is because they are into the market since last 10 years. Now government gave a support to them to start up, and we are able to see showrooms also outside the local company showrooms, and the product is performing good. So if an idea is given to our student in that way, they will be going into entrepreneurship. And when he is an entrepreneur, definitely he will provide an opportunity to at least 10 people.
Yes.
That's more than enough. Okay. Thank you. And about the one more thing about the question, student have to ask question, high level questions, and we need to encourage student. Like when, for example, we have guest lecture by gratis tomorrow. That is our job. We have to do that. We will do. Okay. We need to encourage the student to go through what is the topic actually, one day before at least. Then definitely they will ask the high level questions. So we will do that now. So if any person is asking a high level question, if the person is asking a question, he will go to high level. That is compulsory. Okay. So we will see. Okay, collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
One more thing. See, we have BBA entrepreneurship course, right? Program, right now it is called as program. Courses are now called as programs. Okay, according to NAC. Okay. Now, see, now Aman has told very nicely about like how he has faced certain things. His friend is facing that, and then 20 lakh loan they have given. Now, all these things, if people are able to interact with these students. There are some students in BBA entrepreneurship because in future they want to set up their business, and they want life experience of people who are already into that and what they face the problem so that they can interact. Some type of sessions as alumni you can conduct, right? See, not only Aman in the MBA alumni we may be having some some 10 to 12 people at least we can see where they can come to our college also. Why don't we have a session on Saturdays? Those who are interested, let them come. They get benefit when you people interact with them, and then when students and alumni interact, they take it very, like when we tell, they don't take it so much, but when students tell, alumni tell, they take it well. So why don't we have such type of sessions with the students? Really will motivate them, and then you can also, with your association or networking, you can get people like when we talk about entrepreneurship, patents are also very important. Right? There may be students coming up with new ideas, new thought process that need to be patented. So you can get through your network such type of people where they will also tell the process of patenting. Right? That is also very important. Now such type of things, why don't we think a little bit big from the alumni side, giving to our students? No. See, we love interacting with students. The same thing, students also should take benefit from you. This is our main thing. Ultimately, what is that our alma mater is getting from alumni? That is what, if you think and then come forward, it will be really very nice. This is my thought process, my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Pratik, also for sharing with us. Everything as we are speaking right here, we have like person recording everything that's happening. If you see, she's sitting with a pen and paper here. So we discussed these. These come up. There is a file which was brought and kept to us in the midst of while people were speaking. So those contains already the suggestions that came up here too. So it is in process. But what we are looking for is, I'm one of the people who was asking, ma'am, let's hold on to start off something, because we are in the process of getting an extension of the PG website also on our college website. So for now, if we see, we are just seeing the document there, the registration document. There's nothing else there. There's no other Swapna ma'am and I got on also a call, Zoom calls continuously for 3 days. You can ask her. It was an hour and a half per day.
I'm sorry, but we don't have PG, but
Right, degree is there, PG is not there. We do not have a website for PG. And though we have the name that reads PG, we see all information there about UG. So we are discussing also on that. And the 1.5 hour calls that I was talking about is for discussing these things. We have to let people know first that we are doing this. And then we would get people to talk to us, and then we would know where they are all. Because it is difficult, for example, it is 7 of us in the Alumni Association. You can also ask Imran here